What's going on, everybody? Welcome to an earlier edition of the Insiders Between the Ropes. Thanks for joining us. The football is coming to an end today, except for Derek and his Falcons, but we all know they're going to lose anyway. So, Derek, you can pay attention to the stream.
Dang.
I'm in my glory because my team actually won a game that I thought they were going to absolutely lose against the lousy Giants, you know. But
that was a heck of a game, man.
It really was, yeah. It really was. I got to keep an eye on it while I was working, and it really was a good game. I'll tell you what. So far, 2 weeks into the season, Jeff, the games are competitive. Like there's not a lot of like running away with things. The games are for the most part kind of competitive so far.
Yeah, there's a lot of parity in the league.
Yeah.
And I know that had been a concern years back, especially when the Patriots went on their run. Everyone was like, well, you know, what the heck? And then now you had the Chiefs for a little bit, and you got the Eagles now that look like they're at that spot. But yeah, the games have been really good. I mean, except there were a couple ones today. Like if you're a Bears fan today, and I know a couple Bears fans, I'm sorry. That was rough. That was brutal. Man, but I will say this: at least you're not the Clemson Tigers. There you go. I promise my grievance this evening is not about them, but because I don't want to bore anybody and I don't want to sound like a crybaby, but I have a rant that I am just waiting to just go off because as a Clemson fan, enough is enough. I got to call out the crap. But anyway, yeah.
Sometimes I'm kind of glad I was never really that much of a college fan because it seems like it. People seem like they. Around here, this is obviously Penn State country, and then they're ranked pretty high this year. But people really get into. Like around here, I think they take the college more seriously than they do the pros.
Yeah.
Which is I mean, it's kind of crazy, but
I think a part of that, like just the pageantry, and up until the last few years, you could see a difference in terms of competitive nature and before the NIL money started coming in. And listen, these kids now are getting access to millions or, hundreds of thousands or whatever the case may be.
That's true, yeah.
That they never have before. So, it may be just the case of kids just aren't as hungry as they used to be. I don't know, but maybe I'm sounding like an old geezer, but, that I don't know. But I still prefer I will say, in terms of a live game experience, there's nothing like pulling up on a college campus on a Saturday morning or afternoon, tailgating for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Don't do too much because you want to remember the game. But you have some fun going to the game. Nothing like 60, 70, 80,000 people screaming and yelling. It's a great experience. So.
Yeah, I've been to some Penn State tailgate parties when I was at the university, and they're, look, they're fun, and the thing is, you're not going to pay a gazillion dollars to go to a football. And, nowadays to go to pro games, my dad used to take me to see. He'd take me to see Eagles Cowboys, which, but that was way back in the day when tickets were well, a lot of times he got tickets from work, but even going and stuff like that wasn't that bad. And now it's like tickets are so expensive, and it's almost like, it's almost like going to like a wrestling show nowadays. You're going to spend so much for tickets, and it's like, why not just sit at home watching the comfort of your own home, watch on TV, get a better view anyway. So it's like, I could see that. And it does, the ones I went to when I was in school were a lot of fun. The tailgating and stuff was a lot of fun. And I could see that. And I certainly understand why people, really get behind their college teams. We're like, where I live in particular, the town I live in is split probably almost evenly between Notre Dame and Penn State. And there's like the big two teams, and they always rivaled against one another because they played each other all the time. Yeah. But I am not, Derek, I'm not a Penn State fan. I never really had a college team. The people that I know that are big time fans of the team are really kind of split on James Franklin. Like my friend of mine and a coworker named Kevin, he's probably the biggest Penn State fan I know, and he doesn't like Franklin at all. So I think he's pretty sure too that if he doesn't win it this year, that he might be out because there's really nothing else they can blame it on at that point. So. But yeah, so welcome in, everybody. I'm glad I see some of you saying you like the new time. Yeah, well, Jeff and I will too, because it's going to get us off a little bit earlier. We don't have to be on so late at night on a Sunday. And the whole thing was, you guys can come out, watch or check it out now too. I know, some of you are overseas, and that's a lot better for you guys as well. So I'm glad. I hope you do like the new time for the show. And obviously, we're going to try to do this as much as we can, and this will be the time going forward. So, so I'm glad you all like it. That was Jeff's suggestion, and that was a good one. So before we get started, of course, we've got the news. We've got everything we usually do to talk about. We have a lot of things going on as usual in the world of professional wrestling. But before we do, there's our schedule. We, of course, have Fireflies Forever. Sorry we had to miss it last week, but things do happen from time to time. We will be back on Tuesday at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's a lot going on with that. You saw the whole Street Profit thing that the Wyatt Six did last night. If you watch SmackDown, which pretty cool that they're still going there, even though they're kind of past the Street Profits, but they're still going there with that. So Jeff and Chris will be there on Tuesday to talk all about that. We have TNA on Thursday night, of course. Watch along is at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come and watch that. And we're getting closer and closer to the pay-per-view. When is that? Is that this week or
this weekend? Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So we've got the Victory Road.
No, not Victory Road. I was talking about WrestlePalooza and
we got
an All Out this weekend.
Victory Road's the following week, I think.
Weekend, yeah.
Okay, yeah. There's a lot of stuff happening this coming weekend, of course. And as always, like I said, whenever there is something on Sunday, whoever has something on or going on Sunday, we obviously then won't do the show. We're not going to take you guys away from watching the actual wrestling shows and stuff like that. So, and then of course, again, if there's nothing next Sunday, we'll be back right here to talk about all the goings on. So, right, let's see real quick. We got Deanna, Derek, James. James having a rough weekend. His football team lost in the Derby, and somebody passed away. English boxing legend Ricky Hatton passed away, age 46. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Wow, that's young. That's rough. That's sorry to hear that, James. Jason, I know you're all in your glory about the Eagles. They got away with one thanks to Jason Kelsey, giving the game away. But they won. I mean, it wasn't a barn burner of a game, but it was a close one. And I think they said the Chiefs start 0-2 for only the second time in Andy Reid's tenure. And I think that was the first season that he coached their team. So, crazy. Andrew Stevens, Zach is here with a National Cream-Filled Donut Day. Jason Peace, Chris Wilhelm, Derek, of course. Deanna's here. Terrence. I'm sure I'm missing people. Andrew, Big Dan. Conrad is here. What's up, Conrad? Conrad's one, man. Those Bills are looking good, man.
Looking real good.
They are. They might be Buffalo. I'm saying like early, very early. But Buffalo and Green Bay look like they're the two most impressive teams out there so far, and very well could be a Super Bowl matchup there if everything stays that way. Obviously, you got a long season, and those who stay healthy are usually the ones that go far. So, Matthew Smith, and I think we're good. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So let's dig in, Jeff, shall we, and get this thing rolling?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get to some news real quick. So let's get to any breaking news that we may have. I know one thing that I saw, and shout out to Chris for sending this over to me, but the Wyatt Six show up on Worlds Collide.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, and that's they wreck shop too.
That's pretty cool. I kind of like that. Let them go into these other places and stuff like that. And that's cool. Very unexpected, I'm sure. But I can't remember where. It might have been C Wrestling's video. I saw that. I don't remember. But yeah, that's cool. I dig that. Why not? Have them go around. And yeah, Deanna said she was shocked to see it. That's that's part of it. When you see them go somewhere else that they're not supposed to be, it's always fun, and I'm sure it was fun for the crowd there too, Jeff.
Oh yeah. They went crazy.
Yeah,
they went crazy.
Yeah, that's cool.
They went absolutely crazy. So yeah, it's that was awesome to see. It was surprising, and yeah, I was happy to see it, and I'm trying to think of anything else that happened.
Jeff, the only one I've got really is the whole Andrade situation.
Yeah. I did see that.
Andrade's gone.
What do you make of that? And same question to the chat.
I read a little bit more. I had to read into it a little bit on my break today. And I read a little bit more. Now it seems to be said, of course, good old Davey Boy Meltzer said it was disciplinary action was the reason why he was cut from the roster. And supposedly it happened like some weeks ago after a show. And but that's all I really know. Hello, C, by the way, there he is.
Hey, C.
But apparently it was disciplinary action. I didn't hear a drug test thing. All I heard was disciplinary action and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know how this is. There have been some. The other thing, I guess, too, and I guess this may be a little bit of breaking news, but apparently there was a quote from Charlotte as well about how she might not be around for all that much longer. That she's thinking about maybe having a family and. Obviously, that involves Andrade, who we just mentioned.
No.
Oh, that's right. They're not together anymore. That's right. Never mind. Yeah. So, that's kind of a big thing too. You saw that the whole thing going on with her and Alexa Bliss and how much she was enjoying that. But look, it's you don't want to wait too long to have a family. If you're anyone out there, they want to do that. So. The Andrade stuff, I really don't know. I don't want to speak to it because, again, there's nothing been confirmed. We just know that he's no longer with the company and he was added to the alumni list. Yeah. So once again,
all I have to say about it is this: none of us know why.
Right.
I will say that I think other than NXT, I don't think they used him well at all. But having said that, none of us know what in the world happened, why it happened. Meltzer and whoever else can report on whatever. Until I hear it from his mouth, I will see what it is. But I'm gonna wait until at some point he's gonna talk about it. I mean, we know he's gonna talk about it, so I'm gonna wait to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, and I mean, and then there'll of course be the speculation about where he may go. People are already saying, would he head back to AEW? Would he head somewhere else? We shall see. And depending, if it was something that the company let him go for a particular reason, then I'm sure they will institute the 90 days where they can't go somewhere else. But they were the big things I really saw as far as breaking news. I don't know if you had anything else, Jeff.
No, I don't have anything else in terms of breaking news.
All right.
But I'm pretty sure all of us have an opinion about this first topic coming up. So you want to get to it?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So I'm going to make this full to start out with, and
oh boy.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about it. So WrestleMania 43, Joe and chat, is set for not London, not Paris, not anywhere else other than Saudi Arabia, Riyadh to be exact. So, Joe and chat, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, this is very, very divisive. I mean, I heard on the YouTube video or people chanting "You sold out" over and over again. My standpoint would have been the ones you mentioned prior. Look, I'm not looking at this from a culture standpoint, a money. I'm looking at it from a fan standpoint. All these places that they've traveled overseas, the ones that impressed me the most, as far as the crowd is concerned, has been Paris, and been the England show, also the Australia show. Seem to be the ones that really impressed me. Now, I'm not saying the Saudi fans aren't good fans. The shows they've had there. However, this is looking more and more like, and look, Jeff and I have talked about this on this show, okay? But we've all seen the influence that WWE's parent company has had. And it's no secret that also in Saudi, they are having a huge fight there as well, along with the WrestleMania. So I kind of think that the fans are justified in saying what they're saying. And then you have other people's opinions. I was listening to Denise Salcedo on Busted Open, and Mark Henry and her had very different opinions. Mark Henry said he was excited about it, said that he's been over there a bunch of times, and he said the fans are great. And I'm sure they are. I have nothing against the fans. And then Denise kind of came out and said that she does not and cannot stand for their beliefs, and the beliefs of the people that are there, and the things that they, so that it is going to be very, very divisive. And I can certainly see the people that are saying that other places deserved it more. I get it. I kind of agree with it too. That said, when you look at the money, yeah, and everybody's mentioning it in chat. Sure, that you're going to go for the money, and that's why people are saying they sold out, I guess. What it sucks because look, this is the generation that we're in. We live in these kind of times where money is going to mean everything. And, this is Jeff has talked about on our show about how rough it is to even go see a WWE show now. If you're just a middle-class family, to go yourself and maybe a kid or two, you're going to pay well over hundreds of dollars. And that's not even getting a great seat. So, it's going to price a lot of fans out. And, I don't know. I don't think that's a good road to go down. Ultimately, is it showing in their business? Not so far. They're selling out arenas every time they go. So, but this is not my favorite thing. I kind of certainly hope that New Orleans didn't get shafted because this decision was made for money, because New Orleans could certainly have used the help. They had a lot of bad things happen there. And to take it away from them, that they could have really used the money there to make up for some of that stuff, to just go where they're getting a lot more money from. That's not great. But I don't know. My opinion is I'm not shocked, but I'm also not thrilled by it. Is what I'm going to say, and I'm sure we'll talk more about this later. But Jeff, the floor is yours. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think simply put, this is all about greed and money. There's really no there's no secret to it. It's about money. Yeah. What it comes down to is TKO, whose the parent company of WWE, is about profits and revenues and stocks. Mm-hmm. That's what they're about. And when it comes to the wrestling fan, when you look at how well, and listen, we get it, WWE is big everywhere, but if you think about the fan base in London and holding a WrestleMania in Wembley, that would have been tremendous.
Oh yeah.
And you wouldn't get a single complaint out of people. And I think and again, this has nothing to do with the fans of Saudi. Like, this has nothing to do with it. Yeah. But this is all about it seems like one hit after another, in my opinion. Like, you get the announcement of the ESPN deal.
Yeah.
And then you start hearing about this, and it's like, okay, how much more money do you want? You're getting $30 a month more from people who don't have ESPN through a cable provider or a streaming service. You're getting $30 more from them a month. And now this country gives you this huge paycheck, which James said very astutely earlier. They'd be stupid to turn down the reported $250 million they got paid to bring WrestleMania there. Yeah. So, yeah, I get it. It's all about the money. But at some point, my only question is, if WWE, if you have a seat at the table and you are able to voice your opinions, at what point do you say, are we pricing our fans out of this? Because at this point, it feels like WWE is more of an experience type deal than a show that we grew up watching and enjoying and seeing on a smaller scale, and being able to access it where it's not as overly produced, because that's why we go to the live shows. We want that live experience. We want to feel that energy. And when you start restricting the people that can go by pricing them out of it, I mean, there's only so much watching on television that people want to do and not experience live. So, but Deanna, I think that's what I'm saying. I think that's the point, though. I think if that conversation doesn't happen, then we have to have another conversation. But yeah, the international fans absolutely deserve manias.
Mhm.
I just think the UK should have been first, just like Conrad said. I think the UK should have been first.
I agree. Yep, I agree.
Man.
Yep, I agree. Just like I said, just for the the fans alone, I think just deserved it. But yeah, look, See Wrestling says the only reason I hate it, WrestleMania will just never escape the few places that pay extraordinary amounts. That's a concern, and that could even be a concern in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Because now look we're getting 2 WrestleManias in Vegas in 2 straight years, which never happened before. So that can even come, like Jeff was talking about pricing out. You could be pricing cities out of it at this point, which then that becomes a very sad thing, because then you're going to have maybe a handful of cities, even in the United States, that are going to be able to get it. And listen, I may be biased because I live here, but we are now, as an audience, not going to see the show at a normal time. That's going to have an effect, because now you're going to be getting, like now for me, for instance, I mean, I work during the day. I certainly can't start watching WrestleMania at 11 a.m. So I'm going to have to end up watching a replay when already everything is spoiled, because it's all going to come out on Twitter and everything like that on the results. And, sure, I could just not look at it, but, you might hear things from other people talking about whatever. But, that kind of thing is, America not seeing it at that particular time. I don't know, it's different for everybody, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I agree with Jeff's points, and I don't like the whole money stuff behind it. I get it. I understand why they did it, and I understand why they wouldn't turn it down. But like Jeff said, when is enough enough? And I guess maybe when it comes down to it, maybe it's never enough.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the question that I have, is like, at what point is enough enough? And I do have to do this. I kept seeing these memes and everything, and I'm normally I try not to be a petty person. I can be. I think we all can be sometimes. But I kept seeing this meme on social media, and people kept talking about how unhappy all of the WWE superstars look like. They look like, man, we really have to, do.
Yeah, none of them are smiling, are they? Not one.
Not one. So
that's crazy. I did see the picture, but I didn't notice that none of them were smiling. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You got to wonder. They're all employees. They kind of have to. They're asked to be there because of their stature in the company, and So are they thrilled with it? I don't know. Man. It's it's
old saying I heard in the military: crap rolls downhill. So
it does.
So
it certainly does.
It
certainly does. Yeah, I gotta do just a look, because Jeff brought up Wembley, and I told Jeff about this last night. I'm an excited dad, and I'll actually I'm gonna bring this back up in my favorite moments.
I was about to say, this better come back up.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. But my daughter and her partner took their honeymoon this past couple days, because they couldn't go last year. And my daughter's company was sending her to Paris. And so it's kind of a working honeymoon, basically. But they both decided, my daughter's favorite band ever is Coldplay. They both decided to go to the Coldplay show that was in Wembley last night. And 90-some thousand people were there, which is insane. And out of that crowd, they picked my daughter and her partner to come up on stage with them. And they were up there for 2 songs, and actually were singing with with the band and the lead singer. My daughter is up on stage. I'll show you later on. It will definitely be in my favorite moments. I'll show you the picture I have. But oh my gosh, I was so happy for my daughter. I couldn't even compare. Like, I've been all my life a huge Kiss fan. That would be like an equivalent for me, like around her age, of being able to be up on stage with them. I would have died. And so, yeah, when Jeff said Wembley, I'm like, oh my gosh. But yeah, just awesome. It's so cool as a parent when you get to see your kids do things that you never did or never were able to do. And I'm just so happy for her. She's such a great kid, and I love her partner Emma. They're just great people, and so I am just very, very thrilled. So I just wanted to interrupt the wrestling and just kind of say that, because it was awesome when she sent me the picture yesterday. So, but yeah. All right, well, there you go. What do we got next, Jeff?
Speaking of WWE, WrestlePalooza is Saturday, which will be in Indianapolis. Chris will be going to this show.
Oh, nice.
But we're going to be getting quite a few interesting matches. We're going to be talking about quite a few of these during the show. But this match in particular, AJ, CM Punk against Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch.
The build up to
this has been spicy.
Yeah, it really has. I have to commend them because the build up for all of this is just awesome. The promo work that AJ has done since she's come back, just top notch. Like, this is WWE at its finest. Like, this is, we all can look back at some of the ways they've done promos throughout the course of this year, last year, whatever. But this is unbelievable. This is like top of the charts. How they're doing this, how they're making a mixed tag, for lack of a better term, become this big is just insane. And credit all, look, Becky is amazing at what she does. Becky turned from the biggest face in the women's division to now the biggest heel in the women's division. And it's probably not even close. We all know Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is just phenomenal. Seth Rollins, as Jeff put it on this show not that long ago, is getting to the point where you're going to almost have to consider him on somebody's Mount Rushmore. He's just that damn good. And then the whole thing now with Punk and AJ, and the whole thing with Punk chasing Seth, and that's probably going to go on even up until next WrestleMania, and then that might not resolve. But then you have AJ coming in, has not been wrestling in 10 years. 10 years. She comes in, first promo, kills it. Second promo with the Becky's belt thing and all that. Like, she is just like she hasn't missed a day. So kudos to her. I'll tell you what, normally a mixed tag wouldn't really excite me all that much because there's no stakes. Who cares, right? Who cares who wins? I'm excited for this. And this is the fact that we're going to see AJ wrestle again after all these years, but this is awesome. And I know we're going to get other matches at Palooza. We already, we're getting Brock and Cena, obviously. Yeah. So, that's big. That could be the main event. We don't know, but I'm excited for this. I think this is being beautifully done. With AJ, with her title and everything, how she came to the ring wearing her belt. I think this is phenomenal. And kudos to AJ. We don't know behind the scenes how long AJ's been working out, how long AJ's been working with writers and stuff like that in the back. We don't know. But honest to God, it just seems like she hasn't missed a day. And so, like I said, hats off to all of them. And I truly can't wait to watch this match. I'm very, very excited for this, Jeff.
Yeah, this should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to all of the wrestling this weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. This one should be a lot of fun, and I think we can get 2 more matches out of this. I think we'll get 2 more singles matches.
Yes, sir.
For both titles, I think, at some point. So.
Yep. Yep, we'll see when that might happen. And for sure, I think you've got to look at AJ as a favorite for winning that belt from Becky. And then, like I said, Punk and Seth is definitely going to happen, like Jeff said. And we'll see how long they'll drag it out to. But yeah, this has just been phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. So I'm super, super excited for it. And yeah, look, Palooza is going to be big, man. And I'm nothing surprises me about that they're going to make it big for ESPN's first show. So yeah, for sure. Damien says, I may be an outsider with this, but WrestlePalooza and the matches currently announced just aren't hitting for me. Not from a tribalistic point, but All Out is looking better to me. Damien, yeah, hey, look, dude, that's the fun about wrestling is whatever is the thing that is getting you excited about wrestling. And whichever you're going to watch, yeah, man, that's why it's good to have choices. And it's good to have more than one thing that's out there. Because if something doesn't excite you, then you get excited for something else. So yeah.
And it's like Jay-Z said, but I'm not gonna give the explicit version of it. But we don't all like the same things.
Yeah.
And that's cool. That's fine. We don't have to, because at the end of the day, it's what makes us excited to watch. And for some people, that's a lot of wrestling matches. And some people hate storylines. They hate all of the talking. They hate a lot of that stuff, and they just prefer more classic technical wrestling, and that's fine.
Yep.
That's like Joe said, that's why it's so great to have options and choices, because for some people, they won't watch WrestlePalooza, and I completely understand it. It may not be for some of you. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. That's why it's good to have choices. We didn't always have that. And now there are choices.
So long without having those choices. So. Yeah,
very true. Very true. Did we see Rhea get killed by Art the Clown? I did not.
That was awesome. I'll have to send you that.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Everybody just watch. Some people just watch it all. Jason, James.
Yeah.
It's take it all in. Take it all in. All right, man. What do we got next?
All right. Well, what's up with Jey Uso, man? Going after a LA Knight. What did everybody think about that?
Yeah, are we really getting a heel turn from Jey at this point? Like, I'd be a little leery of that if I were WWE. I don't know that I'd go in that direction. Jey is extremely over with the crowd and the yeet stuff and all that. I don't know if I'd be backing him off that already. The whole lead in from Jimmy saying you're acting like Roman, it almost kind of looks like they're maybe pushing him to, what Roman was and going in that direction. I don't know. I would not be going in this way. I don't think I'd be going. Now, some people have suggested, and I thought this would be kind of clever, is maybe it's not necessarily Jey turning complete heel, but maybe this is part of the evolution of LA Knight even more, where he may end up becoming the one who turns full heel. And to be honest with you, I love LA Knight, but I think that might be a better avenue to go down. And I think LA Knight would be a little more easily digestible by the fans as a heel. We've seen him in the past do it. Obviously, he was in other companies and did it very well. So I could certainly see him, maybe that's what this is going to come down to. But myself personally, if they're changing Jey again and they're going to have him turn, I don't know if I necessarily think that's a good idea, because you're really going to have fans divided by that. And I don't know that it would be a smart idea to do. But it certainly kind of seemed that way as to how he was acting and stuff like that. The fans were booing him. after he decked LA Knight. So I don't know. I mean, you can get fans to cheer, you can get fans to boo. I just don't personally think that this is necessarily the right time, Jeff. And a little of the reason is because of how quickly, we saw him change already. He went from the champion, then he kind of lost that pretty quick. Then he kind of, now it almost seems as if they're maybe moving him around a little bit too much. And I don't necessarily agree with that. But yeah, what are your thoughts?
I think with Jay, one thing is abundantly clear. He connects with the fans, whether they're booing him or cheering him or with them. So I can see them doing something a little less heel face and a little more realistic.
Okay.
And I'm going to bring someone, if you watch TNA, you'll know exactly where I'm going with this. I think Jey Uso is going to become more like Mike Santana, where I don't think he's necessarily a face. People love him. I don't think he's necessarily a face. And you may get some people who boo him, but he's not necessarily a heel. He's just one of those guys that if you cross him, he's got a receipt for you. And I think that's who I like that from Jay. I think it adds a little more, I don't even want to say credibility, but I think it adds a little more impact to his character.
Okay.
From that standpoint. I love what he's done. I don't think they need to change anything because I love what he's doing. But if that's a direction or if that's kind of an idea, I'm all for that because I can see him kind of being that type of enforcer where I don't think he's gotten that same level of respect before. I think he's been seen more as a sidekick. But once he got the title, things changed, and then he lost it, and then you hear the other narratives. So I think he needs to be someone that kind of is the enforcer and holds people, gets people where they need to be, so to speak.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think when a lot of people saw Jimmy come to Raw, people just automatically assumed, oh, they're going to get the brothers back together. They're going to get the tag team stuff going again. They're going to get. Well, maybe if Jeff's point comes to fruition, that's not going to happen because he's going to be more of a loner guy. Like if you like you were saying, if he's more like Santana, he's going to be kind of a lone wolf. He's not going to want to get together with his brother, which a lot of people assume they automatically just would. So yeah, that's a good point. I can see that. And that look, those kind of characters in wrestling are kind of popular right now in today's wrestling. So
I mean, you think about Santana, you think about Steve Maclin.
Yeah.
Those are guys that are really resonating with crowds. I mean, even though the thing happened overnight, I still don't consider Moose a face. Like I don't think I can consider him a face. So I kind of see him in that same role right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of cool sometimes not to just have a straight face, a straight heel. You get those tweeners that are kind of interesting, and they always kind of were, right? Like I mean, us being big fans of Bray was always kind of a tweener. You had him as he was a villain first, and then he was kind of and then when the Fiend came along, he was both. So sometimes those characters kind of fascinate fans a little more. They seem to have a little more depth, and maybe that's what they're trying to do. Maybe they're trying to give Jay a little more depth to his character. So yeah, great point.
Joe, check the private chat if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Yeah, but I agree. I think I was shocked by this, but I definitely love the change. I don't know. I want to see where they go with it before I form if I like it or not.
Yeah.
I just want to.
It's
more time.
it's a little bit of a buyer beware. They have to be
Right.
careful. But look at the writing of a lot of these characters has been pretty good
Yeah.
lately. So yeah, you just sometimes have to trust and see where it's going to take you. So
Yeah.
yeah,
All
good
right.
stuff, man.
Up next, we're going to talk about the guy who split his pants on Friday.
Oh God.
That's Brock Lesnar
Oh
and
my
his
God.
match against John Cena. That was so great because I think Brock Lesnar 5 years ago gets pissed
Oh
and
yeah.
completely blows that moment. But
Yep.
Brock Lesnar in 2025 made that work and just went with the moment, let it go. He's like, look, y'all have all seen it by now, and yes, my ass is what you've seen. So we might as well have fun with it. So that was hilarious.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
And shout out to R-Truth, man.
Oh my God. R-Truth is a treasure, dude. He really is. He really, really is. But yeah, man, I couldn't believe that. I had to do a double take. When I first saw that happen, I'm like, oh my God, he actually split his pants. And then you just see him getting it. He's walking out. He's like, yeah, underwear is blue. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, that's how. Yeah, it's fun to see. When wrestlers get up in age and stuff like that, they get a little bit older. It's fun to see them like just enjoy it more. And you could just see from Brock, like, when he was a younger man, he was all intense all the time, always mad, pissed off. And now he's like, yeah, remember when we were getting him, he was like a farmer almost, Jeff. And he had the big thing hanging out of his lip, the big,
Yeah.
it was like Farmer Brock, right? Or like a Hunter Brock. And
Yeah.
but that was, I mean, what else could you do? But like Jeff said, in the past, you see that he, that he would get pissed. He'd be upset. He'd be mad, and now he's just laughing at, if he's showing the fans, he's posing for the fans. You probably would not have seen that before. But look, I think it's, you make the best of a bad situation. It's something that a seasoned actor would do. If something crazy like that happened on a set when they were filming and stuff like that, make light of it. You always see these little blooper reels of behind the scenes when they're doing movies and stuff like that, and goofy things happen like this, and then they all laugh about it and stuff like that. The thing is, with a film, you could stop the camera and then just redo it. Wrestling is live; you can't do that. But yeah, it was a fun little one-on-one back and forth with R-Truth and stuff like that, and how he's going back and forth with who he is and who he's not, and John Cena and this and that, and then you just see Brock split his pants. I mean, who would have thought? Who would have thought we would have? I mean, that could end up with very well being one of my favorite moments of the week: Brock splitting his pants. So
it might be several people's. Who knows?
Yeah. So it's just good. Again, we watch this stuff for entertainment, and whether it's going to entertain you from the action, whether it's going to entertain you from the storyline standpoints, or however it is, the one thing it's good to have a lot of times is just good to get a laugh, and to see it happen to Brock of all people. It was funny. I thought it was great.
But I will say, Joe, I don't think that dude is showing up at WrestlePalooza.
No, for sure. Yeah,
I don't think that Brock, split his pants, Brock, and dance around and be all happy.
No,
that dude ain't showing up Saturday.
No, for sure. John Cena is going to have his hands full, no doubt. And I think maybe the question here is, does this continue on? Is this technically going to be John Cena's last program with a wrestler? And because there's such bitter rivals over the years, is this going to be more than just this one match, or does this go on until close to the end? Yeah. Because who are you going to get, Jeff? That's better. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Who are you going to find? That's
Joe. It almost makes me think, and I hope I'm not right in this, but it almost makes me think that this weekend, Brock is going to put Cena on the shelf.
Oh, okay, for a little bit, and they'll do a comeback. Yeah, okay, I
And
can
then
see
he
that.
comes back more towards that last date. That's my opinion.
Okay.
And we could get them again, but I kind of get a feeling that Brock's going to put them on the shelf, and we're going to be like, okay, this is supposed to be his retirement tour. And then he has to make that one final Super Cena comeback and have that final match.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, that would be huge. Yeah, that'd be a very cool thing. Yeah, if they would do that. Obviously, not to deprive any of the fans or anything like that, but yeah, look, I mean, Robert's saying I don't want it to be more than one. So then, Robert, who would your choice be? Who would your choice be? To have him face as a final opponent, because see, to me, I think it's got to be someone he's got some history with. I don't think you could just pick a name and put him out there with a name and have it not be something huge.
Do you have that someone huge be a debut or a return?
Yeah, I mean,
I guess the reason I'm asking that question is this, because enough of the rumors are out there that Chris Jericho is going to somehow end back up in WWE. So instead of bringing Jericho back at the Rumble, do you make him Cena's final opponent, or do you make it someone like Big Dan is saying Gunther? Is there someone else?
I guess it really is going to depend probably on John, and if John wants to put someone over at the very end and have him kind of be his successor in a way. I could see that. I don't know if Gunther would be that. I don't know, because they're very different wrestlers. Gunther and John Cena are very, very different. Especially the fact of their personalities and stuff like that too. I don't know. That's a great question. And one to ponder for sure. But yeah, we'll see. There's a lot of interesting ways that they can go. Joe Hendry. Wow.
I like that idea.
That's been rumored, right?
Yeah, let me ask you this, bonus baby, and chat and Joe. How do you get there?
Yeah, that's a good question.
No, and I'm not asking that as a criticism. I'm asking, how would you book it? How would Joe or bonus baby, how would you book them getting to Cena versus Hendry? I love the idea, but how do you get there?
Yeah, because you'd have to develop that a little bit. You can't just like snap your fingers and it happens. Even though a lot of fans, that was a dream match. They were hoping they'd get that. And a lot of you guys in the chat were even talking about that months ago. So yeah, it's a good thing. Yeah.
Do you think Hendry has been around WWE enough at this point where, like Clown said, just have Cena say his name? Has he been around there enough where they could pull something like that, or pull a moment like you did with, how about this? Do the reverse of the ruthless aggression moment. Cena is now Angle, Joe Hendry is Cena.
Oh.
And you do it that way. And it's like, I'm here to carry the torch forward. I'm here to bring wrestling into a new stratosphere. Come up with some kind of corny or catchy thing. I don't know. You can even have Joe Hendry say, 252 pounds of elite, whatever you want to have him say. But pulling a reverse of that moment, I think would be a awesome storybook in it.
Yeah, that would be very cool. That'd be a very cool way, because his career would then come full circle, and then that's a proper way to pass the torch. Yeah. Little Silver, I was going to bring up the Randy Orton thing. Yeah, yep. That might be a good way to bridge it. But yeah, man, Yeah, I obviously, my God, he would tie a rocket to Joe Hendry if that were the case, and who knows, maybe that's what we're building to. Maybe that's what there were rumors flying around that, and maybe Joe would not even go to NXT. A lot of people are assuming he's going to end up in NXT. Maybe not. Maybe he just comes in, like Jeff was saying, presents that challenge, and then that's it. And then he's there. And wow, what a moment that would be for him if that were the case. Just unreal. I don't know, Robert. Like I said, Gunther to me doesn't need it. I don't think Gunther needs that push. Gunther's already there. I don't think he needs that push. And besides, to me, I would rather have face John Cena push face other wrestlers' name here. I don't think him pushing a heel would feel right to me. That's my opinion. But I don't think because to me that ends it on a sour note, right? To me that ends it. It's not the feel good moment. It ends on a sour note because Cena would end up losing to Gunther, and Gunther. A lot of people like to boo. They're not people that are cheering for him. So to lose to a heel, I don't think so. And yeah, Derek's mentioned Braun. The same goes for him too. I don't think I'd want to see Cena lose to a heel on the way out. I think it would be cooler if he, like Jeff just mentioned, is putting over the next in line. But that's face next in line, I think. I just think it just makes more sense.
Joe, devil's advocate. What if he's already done that by Cody beating him?
Yeah, that could be. I mean, because he did. So then you're looking at maybe he needs to do a heel instead. Yeah, no, he's a heel to me, Bonus Baby. He does heelish things. He's definitely a heel. I until you see him turn around and wrestle somebody who's a heel, and take on somebody who's a heel, then you can kind of say that. But he's a heel for sure. He like I said, he does enough to elicit boos and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, he's cocky, he's arrogant, he's everything that a heel is. So, but it's a good point. I mean, maybe he's going to put over face and then heel. You could see that too. Interesting discussion. It could go.
Should be a lot of fun, though.
Yeah,
should be a lot of fun either way.
Could go.
So, Joe, do you have a grievance this week?
You know what? Really, Jeff, the only thing I was even gonna go into it, we already kind of touched on a lot of it during the Saudi thing, because that's really the only thing that I had to really to really have a grievance about. So no, I other than that, no. But if you have one, go right ahead.
I do not necessarily have a grievance. The only thing that I want to say. And listen, I will still play the intro for everyone because I know that's really why people love it.
That's why.
Let's be honest, that's really why people love it. I'll still play it, but I really don't have a grievance. I feel like, and I'm not gonna mention anything. Everybody is on social media, so you know what I'm talking about. I really don't even want any comments in the chat about it. But there's been enough stuff happen this week. There's been enough bad. There's been enough divisive. There's been enough argument. There's been enough bullshit.
Yes, I agree.
Where I just really, I think in this moment, I just want to, not yell and scream about something that is that's kind of minute in the grand scheme of things. So that's my decision. I don't necessarily have one, so I will still play the music, but
Especially when you consider, Jeff, that we're only 3 days out of 9/11.
Exactly.
And that, like I said, I still remember how that affected my wife and so many other people in the United States and in New York and things like that. So yeah, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt. But good call. Yeah, I mean, we all like to hear Jerry Stiller, so sure.
Yeah. I mean, so here you go. Here's Jerry Stiller.
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're going to hear about it.
Makes me chuckle, man. That man, it made me laugh. I can sit and watch King of Queens reruns like all day and all night, and I still laugh. And most of the time, it was because of him.
Yeah.
And Kevin James. Don't get me wrong. I've watched Kevin James do stand up. He's hilarious. But that combination. Sometimes you get these comedy shows, and you just get a wonderful cast, and that was very, very well cast. And it's so funny, Jeff. I never watched that until more recently. I did not watch it when it was initially on TV.
Mm-hmm.
So I never even saw any of it. And then all of a sudden I just got started watching it when it was on late night. And I'm like, oh my God, I love this show. And then I got addicted. I watched the whole thing. And now that's become one of the things I could just like, you know how you have those shows that are like comfort shows? You've seen them a gazillion times. But when you're not necessarily having to pay a lot of attention, and maybe you're doing something else, you'll just kind of turn it on in the background, and then you'll just stop and you'll watch the real funny parts, and you'll just get a chuckle about it. But and even though you've seen them tons and tons of times, but yeah, that's what that's become for me. That's like a comfort TV show that I'll put on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You know what? Let me do this again. I need to switch this up again. I need to put us at the desk, not. We're in a nice little area. I need to put us at the.
There you go.
There we go. This is a more fitting environment to do what we're about.
There you go.
Sell or no sell. So obviously, Joe, the first topic is about Saudi. So Mania in Saudi is good for international wrestling fans going forward. Sell or no sell?
Oh boy. Wow, this is a tough one, dude. Oh my God, Bonus Baby's talking about the stripper pole thing. Yep. Anywho, I'm gonna no sell this.
No sell.
Yeah. And you know why? Because I think it's going to be divisive is what it's going to be. Because I think much like us and how we reacted, I think that the fans over there are going to react a similar way. And you know what? The next time you go to Paris, you don't want those Paris people pissed off at you. Because that is going to be, I don't know. I think that it becomes a thing now, especially if this turns into what we saw, or what we talked about. If this turns into that, and it's a bidding war, and some of these fans who truly, like Jeff said, like when we were talking about American fans, who truly deserve a WrestleMania because of the fan base and because of the participation and because of the way they acted on TV, there's going to be problems. And these fans are going to start to think, you know what? F this. I'm not paying your outrageous prices to go see these shows anymore. We're not going to be selling out these shows as much anymore because you aren't giving us any respect. So that's kind of why I'm going no sell, because I don't necessarily think, I think, and maybe Paris or whoever doesn't feel this way, but I think it's a little bit of a slap in the face in a way, because you said you didn't bid enough and you're not good enough. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. But yeah, I'm no sell.
I'm gonna maybe shock a few people, but there's a method to my madness. because we haven't played in a while. But the reason why I'm selling it is because I think the effect of them announcing Saudi as 2027 WrestleMania is going. It already has so many people up in arms. There are so many people, platforms bigger than ours, much bigger than ours, saying, listen, this is all about greed. Why did you do this? There are other places internationally that deserve WrestleMania. And I saw a comment earlier about, another PLE. It's not just another PLE. It's WrestleMania, their biggest flagship show of the year. And it'd be different. I mean, Saudi is already getting the Rumble in January.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're getting Mania, the show, in a couple years. So another country, not saying that Saudi's not deserving, but there should have been someone before. But again, money talks. But I think this will have the effect of, I think this will show the true test. Is TKO and WWE, are they seeing what's out there, and are they going to address it, or do they just not care and they care about the money? I think that's what will happen from this, and that's why I sell it, because I think that's a positive for everyone. If you know where they stand, you know where you stand. So that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Yep. I can see the point. Let's see. Derek says no sell. Big Dan says no sell. I think Paris or London would have been a better choice, but unfortunately they aren't throwing boatloads of cash like the Saudi government is. A millennial noob says no sell. I still think London would have been a better option. No sell, says Damien. The only people this announcement benefits are Saudi fans, unfortunately. No sell, says Jason. For international fans, yes, it is good for fans. So sell, says Bonus Baby. Deadman says no sell. Andrew says no sell easily. Dylan says no sell. No sell. Not app international fans want to go there. No sell. No. Generally, all no sells.
Okay. A lot of no sell.
Yeah, generally everybody is no selling this. Chris says sell. Where's the Hall of Fame going to be? Money Talks, unfortunately, says Andrew Stevens, and John G says no sell. All right. Topic
well,
2.
If you thought that one was controversial, just wait until you see this one.
Oh, boy.
Here we go. You really want to stir up the crap this week.
Oh, man.
CM Punk's return to AEW was bigger than his WWE return. Sell or no sell?
Yikes.
I guess I just woke up in a mood.
Yikes. Look, I don't watch AEW, but I did watch this. It was pretty damn huge. I mean, he was giving out ice cream bars and shit to the crowd. I mean, I'm going to say sell. I'm selling it. I just think it was. I think it was a look. He came back to wrestling, period. Not just to a company. He was gone, and everybody thought he was gone. That's why, to me, it's bigger. And I don't even think it's really close.
Yeah,
it is two different things. Bonus Baby is right. Because again, like I said, we had no idea. And I got to give props. They did it very well because you did not know it was coming. And they hit him and they did all that kind of stuff. And I just thought it was bigger. I thought it was a bigger deal. Now, on the flip side, I could see the argument too, because many people probably thought, hell no. There is no way he's ever going back to WWE. Not after the way he left. There's no way they would let him come back to WWE. But again, just like the Saudi stuff, money talks. So, but no, to me, and I don't even, like I said, I don't think it's close. AEW's was much better for the reasons I stated, because he was out of wrestling. And again, we just didn't, I didn't certainly see it coming. It was a huge story on Busted Open, on all the major things in wrestling, huge. And it lasted for weeks that people were talking about it. So no, AEW's was bigger.
Yeah.
AEW's was bigger.
So Derek asked me, what am I on today? I want you to do me a favor, Derek. I want you to scroll in the chat. This has people talking more than you would talk. So I love that. That's why I wanted to throw this one in here, because it's such a good, I feel like it's good because it is an apples and oranges, because you can really make an argument on both sides.
Yeah, you can. You
can make an argument. You can say that WWE's was bigger because if you look at what they did if you look at the story of CM Punk in the last few months and everything that transpired after he left WWE, I don't know many people that still had hope, even though they chanted his name at WWE events. I don't know of many people that still had hope that he'd ever return to WWE.
Yeah.
To know some of the stories and everything behind the scenes, some of the promos that he cut, to see him backstage with Triple H after he returned at Survivor Series, doing the point thing in front of the WWE logo, you could argue that was way bigger. However, I never thought that CM Punk would return to wrestling.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm selling this, as much of it was great for CM Punk to see him return again, to see him in a wrestling ring again, think about what it did for AEW. AEW was on a roll. They had a lot of momentum, but everyone kept saying they just need something more. They just need something different. They need like another big name. Who's out there? Who's out there? And people started putting everything together and like, oh, this might actually happen. And it happened. It's like, oh my gosh, like they can, I mean, I know that they said they want to be a competitor to WWE. They've got the firepower to do it. They've got the talent to do it. And I feel like he added another level of legitimacy to AEW that they desperately needed at that time. Not that they weren't killing it, but I feel like that took them to another stratosphere. They started getting more viewers. They started seeing his presence pay dividends for their product. So now the whole how it ended thing, we've already talked about that ad nauseum. We don't need to rehash that. But I feel like the AEW return was bigger because of what it meant to a new company, but also what it meant to for CM Punk to returning to wrestling for the first time.
Yep, I agree. Let's see. This one's a little more divided, of course. We got a couple cells at the top. No cell there. Derek says, Jeff, what are you on today? We got going to sell it. No, wait. No, we got a couple cells. Let's see. No cell apples and oranges says bonus, baby. Deadman says, I didn't see him show up in AEW, so I can't say how big of a deal it was, so I can't really say no sell or sell fair. No sell. Always thought Punk would eventually come back to wrestling, but to actually come back to the company that fired him on his wedding day, bigger deal. Dylan says no sell. Big Dan says no sell. No sell says John G. As much as I watch AEW, but I say no sell because not many thought he would return to WWE. No sell. There are rumors of him coming back in 2019, but couldn't agree to terms. I never thought he would go back to WWE. Damien says sell. The return pop was incredible. However, the aftermath, maybe the events after at a time weren't always so great toward the end. I think if it was for the AEW return to wrestling, going WWE may not have happened. Jason says no sell. The return to wrestling was great. The return to WWE was better. Cody returning to WWE was great too. Andrew's selling it. Big as his WWE return was, returning to wrestling in general still seems like the bigger deal. Yeah, look, and he brought popsicles for everybody. He gave out popsicles, you know. So there's that. But yeah, somebody brought up Drew McIntyre's post. He posted on Twitter saying, "The Rock wants Cody's soul. I want his ass," says Drew. I didn't listen to it, so I don't know what to make of that. I don't know exactly how to feel about that. So there you go, Brandon. Yes, I just did see the tweet. Derek says pause. Yeah, I really don't know what to make of that. But okay. Hey, all right, you know, whatever. I'm not going to argue with Drew. He's a big dude. So, all right, moving on, Jeff. Well, we got to go.
Last. So the viewer's choice. So
audience participation time. Brandon has one. My sell or no sell is John Cena and Brock Lesnar will embrace each other after their match at WrestlePalooza, kind of signifying that it's going to be the end.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Come on, guys. We need your help. And there's a lot of people out there tonight. So play along, please. We need to fill up a spinner. So nothing is beyond the realm. Just keep it kosher. But give us some of your sell or no sells, and we might pick you. And you don't get a prize, but it's okay. You get recognition, and recognition is a good thing. And don't forget, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Would help us out. Also, make sure you drop a like on the video for us as well. Helps out with the YouTube algorithm and things. And then hit the notification bell to be notified about when we have future content. Okay. Andrew's got one. All Out will be the better quality show than WrestlePalooza. Okay.
I'm still typing.
Let me know, and I'll read the next one.
Okay.
The Wyatt 6 going to AAA was a good idea, says Alexa Bliss Gamer 0809. Got that one? Derek says, oh no, it's a no sell. It beats Becky for the IC. Oh, AJ beats Becky for the IC title eventually, only to lose to Roxanne down the road. Damien's got one. After the WrestleMania 43 announcement, WWE fan base will dip significantly. Interesting.
Hold on. Let's see. Where is that? Okay. Fan base. Okay. After
Jason Stauffer has one. John Cena will lose to Brock Lesnar. Robert Wheeler.
This is the last one.
Okay. Should WWE limit pay-per-views to 6 a year or have them monthly like it is now? All right. Thank you all. Much appreciated.
Limit
pay-per-views to 6 per year. Or keep it the way it is.
Okay. All right. So we got that. So I can finally take this off screen now. Sorry about that. Let's see here. I will spin the wheel. I don't know if we'll make a deal, but we'll spin the wheel.
All right, there it goes.
All right, so here we go.
Round and round and round it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows.
And the winner is
Boom.
the Wyatt Six going to AAA was a good idea. Sell or no sell, Joe.
I kind of think everybody's going to vote the same way for this one, but yeah, sure. As I said earlier, yeah, look, anytime you get exposure, it's a good thing. And to have that group who is, obviously very beloved through, by all the WWE fans, but now they're getting exposure from the two haunted horror houses, one in Hollywood and, of course, one in Universal Studios in Florida. Which is just going to make it bigger. And yeah, sure. I think it's a great idea. It gets them in front of more fans. And, now we saw them win a title at the last pay-per-view that they had. And remember how we were kind of, Jeff and Chris had been talking about this for a while on the show about when would be the time where you get them onto pay-per-views, because for the longest time they weren't. But now I would imagine that's going to be an occurrence. And if they're sending them to AAA and things like that to just get them more exposure, yeah, I think it's a good idea. And I think it's what Bo wants for the group. I think it's what Bray would have wanted for the group. So, yeah, I definitely selling it. Definitely, I think it's a good idea.
You're selling it.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I'm selling it because if anything, this gets them more exposure. They were gone for such a long time, and a lot of people were worried about the momentum, their momentum coming back. And in my opinion, I feel like they've done very well since coming back. So I'm all for this. Shoot, have them show up on NXT one week. Why don't you? Please. Thank you. But yeah.
I like Sean's idea there. It's good to see the Wyatt Six on a different brand. I did not expect it, and I believe Uncle Howdy and Rowan will go after the AAA title. See, that's cool.
I love that.
You split the group up, and then both of them have sets of titles? Yeah, I like that. I think that's a good idea. I think that's a good idea. Now we'll have the Wyatt Six in TNA. Could you imagine that?
Would love that even more.
That would be awesome, dude. That would be awesome. Bring that God. That's what TNA needs back. We lost all of it because all that mysticism and stuff like that Rosemary and stuff used to have when they were, and when they had Decay together, you can kind of bring that back a little bit. I miss that in TNA. They were really good at doing stuff like that. Yeah, man, I think that'd be awesome. Yeah, I think that'd be awesome. Why not have them be? Because again, this is, you got to remember that what Bo is doing here is probably more towards what Bray's vision was going to be, and you hear from the Righteous and how they talk about how they were going to be involved. And Cross was going to be involved. And I think Bray really wanted to kind of get it out everywhere and spread the love around. And that's I think what Bo is going to want to do. So I think it's I think that'd be awesome. I think that really be awesome. And if this is going to start all that, then yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Sean Rousset says, "Sell. It's good to see the Wyatt Six on a different brand. Did not expect it, and I believe, I think it's all good, man." Damon says Wyatt Six versus Dark State. Bonkers wants to see Nikki have a singles match. I think that'll happen down the road. But the group will, the group will stay the group for a little bit, and then, you can always get singles matches down the road at a later date. But Robert says no sell, so he's opposing opinion here. Taking so long for the Six to even get TV time and matches to now sort of downgrade, sort of like someone showing up on the main roster, then go down to NXT for a match. So you're thinking that going to AAA is like a downgrade? Okay. I don't know if I would think about it that way, but that's interesting. Okay. All right. So there you go. Nikki Cross going after the Knockouts Championship would be great. I think you'll probably see that somewhere down the line when they get that all settled. There's a lot of stuff in the women's division that I think needs to kind of get a little back on track as far as storylines are concerned. It's kind of all over the place. You're really not getting feuds that are lasting a while. It's kind of just all, you're getting this one, then this one, then this one, then this. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we'd see that down the road somewhere. So, all right, well, there you go. That is sell or no sell for this particular episode. And Jeff, it was starting to get colder. Now it's like 80 some degrees. It's the middle of September, and it was like 85 degrees today. It's crazy, and it's supposed to go up to 90, which is insane for the month of September. So I guess you can say, Jeff, it's not really hot in here. It's hot though, but it's hot outside. Mm-hmm. But it is going to now get hot in here too.
Yeah, it's burning up a little bit, we should say. So
it is.
Let's pull this question up here. Okay, that's not the question. So
that was our last one, I think.
That was last week's question.
I was having deja vu. I was like, wait a minute.
Let me do this in real time. I'm sorry, folks.
It's all good.
Sometimes I get ahead of myself.
It's all good.
I don't switch things out like I should. But
while Jeff's doing that, I'll show you. Look at this jersey. Ready? You could tell this is a Troy Aikman jersey. I'm living way in the past, because that's because this is the last time we actually.
That's been a few years.
It's the last time we actually won something. So I'm living in the. I also have a Deion Sanders jersey that I can now fit into. The Deion one was like an XL, and yeah, so that so I'm bringing out the old stuff.
Yeah. All right, let's see here. 19 slide 19. All right, so I have this pulled up now, and I will make this larger so everyone can see it. All right, burning question of the week. I know there are a lot of fans that love violence in wrestling. I think it's great when used appropriately, but I want your take. Is the blood and guts style of wrestling that has become so popular in some promotions lazy storytelling?
Wow. That's interesting. It's not something you see a lot of anymore. And I know there are fans in our chat of GCW and other promotions and stuff that are out there that are the ones that are kind of keeping that kind of thing going. All that said, I kind of liken this to people just still kind of enjoying wrestling kind of in the past tense. I don't think it's lazy storytelling necessarily. I think that what they're doing is, I think they may have been fans of other wrestling stuff that we grew up with, where you would see a lot more of that. And what I'm getting to is, like ECW, for instance, right? I was hooked when I first saw that, and you'd see. And they would put it on late at night, which was always like a taboo thing. Like that was the kind of show that unless you're a little older, you weren't watching because your parents would kind of know what's going on. Like, why are you watching wrestling at midnight at night? And then when they would see Sandman coming out and blasting himself in the head with the beer can and bleeding, and there was blood everywhere in that. And oh my God, all of that. and that's what attracted me to it. Because see, I was starting at that point in time in my life to get into horror, and I was loving it, man. I never missed ECW, never missed it, and so I think it was kind of risque. But then on the other hand, when you go back to the days of the the 80s, the early 80s, the late 70s, and you had PWI and the wrestling magazines, every single cover was a Crimson Mask. Every single cover. That's what you saw when you went, and that's what intrigued kids my age to go buy it. Because it's like, oh my God, that dude's like covered in blood. Like, look at this. So I don't know. I kind of think that it's definitely a thing that, I mean, even TNA kind of announced it, right? They were one of those promotions where they were keeping that tradition very much alive. My God, me and Jeff watching that one match with Macklin where the blood was streaming from his head, streaming all over the floor. And now they renounced it. So, but I think it's a call to the past, and I'm never gonna condemn anyone from doing that out of respect for what wrestling used to be. And so, no, I don't think it's lazy storytelling. I just think it's a different way of doing it. And there are fans that are out there that truly enjoy it and truly love it. And fans that go to the live shows love it. I was just going to get into that too, Derek. I'm not going to say bleed to bleed. Okay. I'm not going to say that you should just do it because because let's just bleed. There's a purpose, and there should be particular matches that call for it, particular feuds that call for it. It doesn't need to happen every single match. But I don't think that it's lazy storytelling. I could see where somebody can confuse it for that, because they can be like, yeah, they just don't want to be bothered actually trying to tell a story. They just want to have the blood and guts. And it's funny how you put it this way, Jeff, too, because you can say this about certain horror films and horror franchises. Are some of the ones that are so gory crap storylines? Like are actually crap movies. They're gory as hell, but the movie isn't all that great. And there have been some horror films like that, where they're just doing the gore to do the gore. And yet the storyline sucks, and the story lacks. So, there is that. So, but yeah, I like the question, but no, I personally in wrestling don't think it's lazy storytelling. I think it's just them probably being fans of kind of similar things that I used to watch and used to read. And I think they're just kind of tributizing it. Now, that said, I would never say it would be right to have these promotions or promoters tell people that, listen, you're going to stick a light tube in your forehead and you're going to bleed all of it. I'm not for that. I don't want them to tell them to do it. I hope that there's safety precautions out there, and I hope that because we live in different times, and you kind of have to take a little more care of that. You got to be very careful today, because you don't know how people are going to react and stuff like that. And so as long as they're okay with it, then I'm okay with it. So,
yeah, I mean, I guess I'm old school, because I like it when the blood, all that violence means something.
Yeah.
Like, just because you bumped into each other backstage and, you had a disagreement in catering isn't a reason for someone to have a match that ends in blood. I think that's reserved for long-standing feuds. I think that's for stories that have been going a while, like CM Punk and Seth Rollins. At the end of this, I expect there to be blood at some point, more than there's been. But I think when you just do it to pop the internet crowd and to have a video shared on social media. I think it takes something away from it, and it doesn't make it as special as it has been in the past, and it doesn't give it the same. It's not used in the same way as it was in the past, and maybe that's just because I'm old and I need to change with the times. But I don't know. I mean, I don't mind the violence. I think that's a different story. I think in terms of violence, that's different. But when it comes to having blood and all of that stuff, using staple guns and other things,
Tax.
I
I had to throw that in there. Jeff loves thumbtacks.
Yeah. I just feel like that's just, it needs to be used sporadically, in my opinion.
Do you know what I think is a good example of one, Jeff? Is the unsanctioned match between Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker.
Yeah.
That was, I think, very well done. They said it was unsanctioned. So basically the company wasn't supporting it. The company wasn't. I think that's something that companies could do more of. If they want to have something like that, we're like, yep, go ahead, kill yourselves. We don't care, but we're not supporting this. We're not behind it. We're not supporting it. You guys go to town. And that's a way you can get away with it. And it made a lot of sense. And that was a great match. That was one of the best matches of the year that I remember seeing that year.
Yeah, a lot of people still praise that match.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I just feel like, I don't think it's lazy storytelling per se. I just feel like you jump the shark a bit when you put blood in every single match. I mean, and there are matches that are great. I mean, that's no knock to GCW or CZW. I watched it all. But for me, if I'm sitting down and I'm like, okay, what would I rather see, or what direction do I want to see it go in? That's typically what I would do.
Agreed. Drew versus Punk. Yeah, that's another perfect example. Yeah, no doubt. Because they at that point, there was so much hatred between the two that was built up over a long time. And I didn't even expect that, Derek, to be honest, because WWE doesn't do it much at all. And I didn't expect that to get that way. But it was suited. And it was perfectly suited for that. Brandon says, by the way, Joe, the Cowboys visit. Yes, I'm aware they are going to Chicago next week with Jadeveon Clowney in tow, by the way, who they signed pretty much right after their game today. So yeah. There are good deathmatch wrestlers who can tell a story while in the ring, and there are others who are just garbage wrestlers hitting each other with whatever they can. Yeah, and that's really the difference between the two. But yeah, good stuff. I liked the question. It was a good one. We don't get to talk about that kind of stuff a lot. So
yeah, that was a good question. I appreciate that.
Yep.
Appreciate that question. All right, so we are going to talk about what to watch for this weekend, Joe. So
got a lot coming up.
We're going to start with AEW All Out. That's going to be on Saturday, earlier than originally scheduled for, because of WWE's
Palooza.
We talked about that last week. So
Palooza.
but yeah, so All Out coming up on Saturday.
I'm gonna put this to the chat, right? Because I don't watch AEW much at all. So what are you guys that are gonna watch this show? Because some of you said you were looking more forward to this than you were Palooza.
Mm-hmm.
So from you, what has you intrigued? What has you so excited about this? And I guess the advantage is you're going to be able to watch both if you really want to, because the other one should be over before the other one starts. But what are you really looking forward to from All Out? Let me know in the chat. I'm curious, because again, I can't speak to it because I don't watch. I don't get to watch it. So yeah, let me know in the chat.
So Joe, just to give you a heads, just to kind of tell you what's on the card.
Yeah.
Got Adam Copeland and Christian Cage going up against FTR.
Okay, well that's cool. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Kyle Fletcher and going up against Hangman Page.
Okay.
For the title. Moxley and Darby in a coffin match. That's probably the one that I'm looking forward to the most. But I am looking forward to seeing Eddie Kingston back. He's going to be going up against Big Bill. I'm looking forward to seeing him back. It's going to be good to see Eddie.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Robert says Moxley versus Allen in the coffin match. Looking forward to Edge and Christian to see what that. Well, that makes sense. I mean, again, you're seeing all these classic tag teams like the Hardys, and then when the Hardys wrestle the Dudleys at Bound for Glory, you're kind of seeing them all getting their last licks in maybe, and their and stuff like that before the twilight comes and things. So yeah, look, it's always great to see them doing that kind of thing and getting back together. Mark Briscoe versus MJF. Mercedes versus Riho in a first-time ever match. And the coffin match, just a few of them that I am excited for. Very cool, Damien. Okay. Really do love the Hurt Syndicate and AEW. Shame WWE let them go. Yeah, look, Jeff and I were fans. We listened, yeah. We from the COVID times. Bobby Lashley. And the group that MVP had in WWE was awesome, and then they just could not get that to work. So yeah, women's fatal 4-way for the AEW Women's World Title, Eddie Kingston match. Yeah, I didn't realize Eddie was coming back, so that's cool. And the 4-way women's match for the title. Yeah. So there you go. I mean, now of those of you who are watching, right? Are you going to watch both? Are you going to watch AEW and then you're going to just switch right over and watch Palooza afterwards? Just out of curiosity. So nice. Well, there you go. And speaking of the Palooza, I just love saying that word. I love saying Palooza. I don't know why. I just love it. It's just one of those words in the English language. It's just weird, but I like saying Palooza. You don't get a chance to say too many words that have Z's in them. Or something like ooze. So yeah. WrestlePalooza in Indianapolis. Oh, that's right. That's why Chris is going. Yeah, that's his neck of the woods. I forgot that Chris is there. Yeah, that'll be cool. But man, yeah, look, this is gonna be fun. I mean, obviously already what we're seeing for this, Brock and Cena. And as we talked about earlier, AJ Lee and Punk against Becky and Seth. I mean, just two pretty amazing matches to just start off with, and we haven't even really got much of the rest of the card yet. So yeah, I think that Palooza is going to be great, and it kind of has to be, I guess, because this is the ESPN stuff and. They want to make a big splash and a big first impression. So yeah, I'll definitely be tuning in. It's on around the time when I get home from work. So I'm sure when I get home from work, I will check it out. But yeah, I think it's going to be exciting that they're both on that day. I think it's going to be a big day in wrestling overall. And that's good for wrestling. So I think I think they'll be fun, and I think both of them will be pretty good. So,
all right, man. Well, you want to go to favorite moments of the week?
Yeah, we can. Legit gonna wait for the review for Palooza, and for people who are familiar with this event, does the name of this event remind you of Lollapalooza? Of course,
a little bit.
Yeah. I feel bad for Americans having to pay for it when we outside America get it all included. If I don't have to pay for mine, I get it through YouTube TV.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have YouTube TV, you do not have to pay. So there you go. That's a plus. Definitely watching Palooza. Cool. All right. Yeah, we're gonna get to our favorite moments, guys. We're heading for the roundup here. We've even gone a little over time, but that's okay. So yeah, let's go. Favorite moments, 3, 2, and 1, and we will get to those starting now. So Jeff,
yep,
your third favorite moment of the week.
My third favorite moment of the week was seeing Brock Lesnar absolutely roll with the punches, split his pants, keep going like nothing happened, make fun of it, and not insult our intelligence or not try to act like it didn't happen. That was good.
Yes, agreed. And I'm going to go back to one that Jeff talked about earlier and say that I'm going to be a very sad camper when Ron Killings, a.k.a. R-Truth, decides to hang it up. Because he showed again yesterday why he is so necessary in this. And I know a lot of people are saying, what happened to Ron Killings? Why isn't he around anymore? What's he going back and forth? You know why he's going back and forth? Because he can. And because it's funny. And because he's good. And because he makes people laugh. And that's something that is sorely lacking in the world today. And I will be very sad when he's no longer wrestling. Because to me, I think wrestling needs him. And to start off this segment, I thought it was perfect. And, he's still kind of crazy. Like, he's still doing the whole crazy thing. And I just love R-Truth, man. He makes me smile. And that's a good thing in our generation and in our age today. So number 3 is R-Truth for me. All right, let's see what we have from people's number 3s here. Brock ripping his pants. I ripped my pants. Where is that from? Is that a SpongeBob episode? I think it was. My daughter used to watch SpongeBob all the time, and I ripped my pants. I did. Okay, so my third favorite moment was Brock Lesnar ripping. Okay. 2 moments of the week. Number 2, Derek Stockton college football. ISU beats Florida. Number 1, Bud Crawford demolishes Canelo. Brandon's 3 was AJ Lee. That rhymes. I like it. Tyler Breeze showing up in NXT. The Deanna. 3rd, Dominic Mysterio winning at Worlds Collide, says Barry Monkey. The personal concierge putting his foot, ankle, calf, knee up to the hip in his mouth. Or as they say in Louisiana, in his moof. Says bonus baby. Nice. Brock ripping his pants, says John G. The 500,000 5-on-5 matches from Dynamite and Collision, says Brandon. Dominic winning AAA Mega Championship, says Sean. Derek says same. Damien says number 3, the continued face run of the system in TNA this week. Okay, yeah, I'm liking that. Who would have thought? I shipped my pants. Oh yeah, that commercial's hilarious. Dominic is a double champion, champ, says Little Silver. Sponge Brock ripping his pants. Steve, there you go. I knew it. I knew there was a SpongeBob episode or something like that. I knew it. All right, number 2, Jeff, what you got?
All right, man. Number 2 for me. A lot of people just said it, but number 2 for me is the climb of Dominic Mysterio and him winning another championship and him being a double champ. I mean, it's crazy to see what he's done since the first time we saw him when Ray. I mean, I'm not talking about the first time we saw him with Eddie. I'm talking about in the last several years when we saw him with Ray and Brock, as a matter of fact. And to see what he's done now, it's wild, man. I'm so happy for him. And Dom 2 belts. Who would have thought?
Right. I mean, yeah, he's got some good genes, Jeff, and that's gonna have that. He's gonna have that. He's gonna be around for a long time, Dominic. So, yeah, very cool. My number 2, Brock with the pants, man. Brock with the pants. And like I said, I had to do a double take because I'm sitting there watching, and sometimes when I watch wrestling, I'm doing other things at the same time, as we all kind of do. I think I had my head in my phone. I was looking at a score of a baseball game, and then I looked up and I'm like, what the hell happened? And then I'm looking around, I'm like, did he shred? Because I saw him walking, and I see from the back, and I'm like, oh my God, the dude shredded his pants.
Yeah.
And then you just, I mean, like Deanna said earlier, thank goodness he was wearing some undies, or the crowd would have gotten a hell of a show. So yeah, the Brock thing was just, look, it's when things like that happen, it's just fun when the wrestlers just play along with it. You don't know. Jeff had a very good story about pants ripping, which, by the way, maybe he'll tell you all someday. But I know it. I'm not sharing it. But maybe someday you'll find out.
Oh man.
Maybe someday you'll hear that. But yeah, that was just great to see him laughing and stuff like that. I think it's just a side of who he really is, instead of always seeing that nasty Brock guy coming out and everything like that. So yeah, it was that's my number 2. All right, what's people's number 2s? 2 Brock's pants. Belts Dom 2.2, two belts Dom now. Number 2, Dom winning a AAA title. 2 AJ Styles. 2 belts Dom. 2A and 2B. Xavier Woods running away from Psycho Clown, and the Wyatt 6 showing up at AAA. Dominic winning the Mega Champion and Wyatt 6 invading. Wyatt 6. Eric Young turns on the Northern Academy, says Little Silver. Nice call out. My second is when Mommy and Tiffany Stratton and Ben came. Okay. Yeah, when they came together. AJ Lee's promo and the Wyatts in AAA. Sponge Brock SquarePants ripping his pants on SmackDown. Dom winning AAA. When Mommy and Tiffany Stratton and Ventura, whatever, showed up on NXT. As much as it kills me, but Triple D's dirty dumb Dom now at 2 belts. Yeah, a lot of people are either going to like that or going to hate it. But yeah, I'm kind of liking in all of that. And I don't know when this is going to occur, Jeff, but they are really playing the long game with it. The stuff that Finn Balor's doing. When you see him with that evil little grin on his face, there's something that's going to happen there. He's going to turn on Dom at some point. And the question is, when is he going to do it? You can just see, like, it looks like he's happy for him, but then all of a sudden in the background, you see that evil little smile on his face. I like that. That's long-term storytelling, and they're definitely going to go somewhere with it. But I'm excited to see what's going to come out of that, because I always loved Finn Balor, and I think that'll be very interesting as to what occurs with that. So, but all right, Jeff, what's your number 1, and what are your guys' number 1s?
Man, my number 1. You know, sometimes it's good to have a little blast from the past that reintroduces themselves into the now. And seeing AJ Lee again, that's my number 1. I'm looking forward to this match this weekend. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think we'll end up getting a singles match between Becky and AJ at some point. I mean, you have to, right? So that's my number 1. AJ Lee, her being back in the ring, and she's going to be back on the PLE. So, yeah.
All right, guys. Well, my number 1, as we sometimes do on this show, I have to make mine personal. And I kind of gave it away, and I told you guys about it before. But obviously, my oldest daughter, who's the sweetest person in the world, and obviously her partner Emma, both being called up on stage by my daughter's favorite band and singer. And I will show you. There's the picture, and there's the lead singer of Coldplay to your right, and my daughter is on the left there, right next to him. And then there's Emma, her partner is over on the left as well. And that was in front of like 90,000 people. I can't even imagine how cool that would have been to get to do that. And what a start to their honeymoon. So like I said, it's great to see your kids get to experience things that you never have, and it's always awesome to see that. And when I couldn't believe when I heard about it, my wife mentioned it to me, and then I had to go and I had to look on my daughter's Instagram and stuff like that. So yeah, just awesome. And then they went off to Paris, and they're going to go to Disney World in Paris as well. So yeah, it's very, very cool. And yeah, who would have thought out of that big of a crowd that you would get picked to be on stage with a band? That's just amazing. Just amazing. So hide the kiss cams from Coldplay. That's what I said. Like, ironically, that show, so the last one that they were at, she was on that cam too. So my daughter was also on that prior to that whole controversy thing happening like the next night, which was hilarious. So yeah. Yep. So my younger daughter listening right now, my younger one is gonna have a lot of experiences in her life too. My younger daughter is just kind of getting started. She's in her last year of college. So she's graduating this summer. Already. Yeah. Already, man. My wife and I will be truly empty nesters. So never like I tell Jeff this all the time. It blows by. And that's you can never let any of the times go by without recognizing how quick it goes. And so yeah, it's insane. It's insane how fast it all goes. Like I said, I'm getting memories now of the SpongeBob thing. That was when my oldest was watching that. That I remember all that stuff. So crazy. AJ Lee is your number one. The Amanito got done by Iguana's puppet. Iguana's awesome. He's just very cool. Disneyland in Paris is still around. Yeah. Nope. Yep. It is. Time to walk around. Yes, I know what you mean, Derek. I do. Of course, that's all. Derek needs to get the. He needs to get the. Yep. Got to get it in before the end of the show. Oh man, bonus baby. Good God, now we're getting out of control. All right, we're out of control. Isn't that funny how that became a thing from Deadpool of all movies? Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, guys, there you go. There you have it. That is going to do it for us for this one. Thank you all for coming out. It was great to see all of you. I'm glad you all are enjoying the earlier time as we are too. That's what this will be going forward. We will start at 7:30. And if we don't have such a stacked thing, we probably will get it over with even before like 9-ish, or maybe a little bit after 9. So thank you all for coming. Again, make sure that you drop a like on the stream before you head out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new and you're watching for the very first time, as I know a lot of people do after the fact. And otherwise, make sure you hit the notification bell to be notified about when we have future content, which are scheduled coming up. Obviously, Fireflies Forever on Tuesday, 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where they will talk all about the Wyatt Six and the stuff at AAA, things going on with the Profits, and all of that good stuff. And also, you probably hear a little bit from Chris about being excited about going to the big show coming up. And then, of course, Thursday, TNA. Make sure you join us for TNA, 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time. And then I will be along a little bit later to end out the show. So make sure you join us for that. And then we will be back next Sunday. Is there stuff on Sunday next week?
No.
Okay, good. So there you go. So we'll have it's going to be a follow-up episode to all of the things that are going to happen on Saturday. So we're going to have a lot to talk about next Sunday as well on this show. So again, join us at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time next Sunday for that. It'll be kind of a wrap-up of everything that happened in wrestling over the course of the weekend. All right, guys, have a great night. Please stay safe. Be kind to one another always, and hopefully we will talk to you all on the next episode of The Insiders. Have a great one, and we will talk to you all soon. Good night, everybody.